Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missy Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. If you've ever told yourself, I just need to manage my time better, you might want to listen to this episode because I want to talk about why doing more and planning harder and trying to catch up never makes us feel caught up. It never makes us feel better. There's always another problem, another project, another thing on the horizon. And I just want to get some perspective on this and, share what I've been working on and thinking about with you guys. Because I don't think that time is our problem. I think that we're managing the wrong thing. Lately, I've been trying to analyze my mood and figure out what the fuck my problem is. I'm a straight bitch, guys. Like, I am such a bitch at the end of the day. I am so fucking grumpy and shitty. By the end of the day, when I get home, I'm miserable. Like, I can't even stand to be around myself sometimes. And I mean, it's not every day, but I would say it's most days. And the thing that sucks is like, that's the only me that my family gets. My husband, my kids, my dog, like they all get grumpy me, and everybody else gets the real me. Everybody else gets the happy me, like good mood, having fun, laughing me. They don't really get to see that because they get the me that has nothing left to give at the end of the day. But I don't start that way. I don't start my day out that way. I start out in a good mood. I like to think I'm a happy person, in the beginning of the day. I've had this thought for so long that burnout comes from not managing your time well. And, I think everything I say in this episode is going to contradict things I've said in the past. But, I'm learning as I go and figuring things out as I go. And I don't think that burnout is from not managing your time. I don't think that it's, I completely changed my schedule around. Like I tried this. I tried to manage my time. I tried to get more efficient with my schedule. I wake up earlier. I schedule every single second of my day, and I limit my time on this, and I try to fit this into this amount of time, and, trying to cram more and more into my day, and just trying to get out from underneath this like overload. And it never gets better. Like I never catch up. I always feel like there's more to do at the end of the day. And I end up not wanting to do anything besides work because I just want to get caught up. I just want to feel like I got to that point where I got it done and I can like move on. And I just never get there. It's like they say, like you climb to the top of the mountain and then you realize, fuck, there's a second mountain. Like, I'm not at the top. This isn't even close to the top. There's a whole other mountain over here. And that's how it feels every day to me. And it's always like, once I get caught up, then this. But there's always more. There's like no getting caught up. And it doesn't get easier on the other side. There's just like always more on the other side. And so if it never gets easier and it's never going to be less on my plate and I'm never going to catch up and I'm never going to be done, what's the solution for this? Because I can't continue going through my days just being completely fucking wiped out at the end of the day and just feeling shitty every day and being shitty every day. And then that stacks on top of, day on top of day. And that turns into burnout where I fucking get sick, end up in the hospital, pass out, whatever, and I don't want that either. So I'm trying to figure out what do we do about this? So something that I have been looking into and researching is just energy, like throughout the day, how energy works, because it's something that I never really considered before. We always hear about your circadian rhythm, and, obviously I know what that is, or I thought I knew what that was, but it never really occurred to me that it is something that like ebbs and flows throughout the day. I guess in the past, like I just kind of think of it as what, when you go to bed and when you wake up, or when you should go to bed, and, whether you're a nighttime person or an early bird or whatever. And it never really considered that it also contributes to like how you feel throughout your day, and how your energy rises and falls throughout the day, because it is constantly flowing throughout the day. And they say that everyone has basically the same time of day, or the energy dips. Maybe that's true. I'm not really sure. I've heard lots of people say like, I don't know. Like I think that it would take some time for me to really like look into it and really check in with myself and see how I feel. But, I have paid attention in the past where I'm like, okay, this time of day, this works really well for me. This time of day, this doesn't work well for me. And who knows if it's, across the board for everybody, but just something to think about and something to consider when you're planning your day, and, making sure that you're doing things that are going to be aligned with the energy that you have for it at that time of day. So this biological clock that we all have, it contributes to our mood and our hormones and how we digest things. And, when it comes to our energy, it affects our ability to focus and think clearly and all of these things. And it naturally rises and falls throughout the day. So they say it comes in waves or cycles, of 90 minutes and 15 minutes. So 90 minutes of focus and like higher energy, followed by 15-minute dips. And those dips, if you're not using them correctly, you're not recharging the way that you should be, so that you can go back to your 90-minute of focus. So, if you think about it like, like a tank. So you're like a gas tank. So you're 90 minutes, like you're using up all your fuel. And then you have that, the very bottom, you hit that dip, and you should be using that time to fill your tank back up. But if you're not, you're just continuously running on empty, or maybe you only, sort of give yourself that break because your brain's doing it for you. So you only get half your tank filled up. So then the next time you run it dry, you're only filling it up a quarter of the way. So by the end of the day, you're just fucking on E. And I think that's where I'm at. I think that's where I've been, because I'm not allowing myself that time to get my head straight and get right again. And I'm not using those breaks strategically. So if you're not taking that break before you feel it, before you start to feel that fatigue, before you start to feel that dip, you're waiting too long. And that's the thing that I think I lack, is just being able to stop and be like, no, I need to take a break. I don't feel it. I don't feel like I need a break, but I need to, because I've been working on this for this amount of time. And if I could just stop myself, take that break, rest for a minute, and get back to it, I probably would come back into it with full energy. I'll come back at 100% instead of like whatever percentage I'm at, because I just kept fucking going. So for most people, late morning is like a peak period of productivity and performance and focus, and it dips again in the early afternoon. So around 2 to 5 p.m., your body is naturally going to drop in, like your body temperature drops, your alertness, your blood pressure, your glucose availability to the brain. And you just can't push through this. You have to reset your nervous system before you can go back to normal. And, they suggest a lot of different ways to do this. And I've definitely heard these before. And I think I brushed it off like, okay, must be nice. Go for a walk, stretch, do some exercises like push-ups or squats or put some music on and dance and, get away from your computer screens. And like, that's great. But we're tattoo artists. Like, we're in our fucking hand prisons all day. And like, how are we supposed to go for a walk in the middle of a tattoo? So it seems unrealistic, right? So I have recently scheduled walks and breaks like that in my day. And I can count on one hand the amount of times that I actually did them, because like your day goes to shit. So you get started and like your client's late, or you have to move the stencil 5 times. You have to resize the tattoo. You have to like change the drawing a little bit, whatever. You don't start exactly when you're supposed to. So I schedule at 12 o'clock, go for a walk, and we didn't even start the tattoo until 12:15. So now what do I do? Like that's the thing about being a tattoo artist. And probably most service industries, it's like your day doesn't go the way it's supposed to ever. Like most days are fucked from like the get-go. So it's really hard to factor in a break and taking a walk in early afternoon. So it's not a perfect solution. It's just an idea that they put out there, and we have to figure out how to fit these pieces together and make it work for us. And I will say, the few times that I did go for a walk, I did feel better. I felt really good. And, walking is something I really do enjoy. I used to go for a walk every morning, when the sun's coming up, and, just something about being in the sun. Not something like there's like science behind it, where, it's being in the sun tells your brain it's daytime and that we need to stay awake, and it suppresses melatonin. So if you're working in a shop that's like dark and chill and quiet, and, your brain's starting to, everything's starting to slow down, and it's telling you like, oh, is it time to go to sleep? Are we getting tired because it's bedtime? Like, and your body's going to start to, produce melatonin and get ready for bed. But if you go stand in the sun, it instantly is going to snap you out of that and make you feel better and make you feel more alert and awake. And if you can't go for a walk, because like sometimes it's not realistic, but go stand by a window, like take your break right by the window in the sun, or go sit in your car, or, go stand outside for a little bit. Like, that's not unheard of for a tattoo artist to go stand outside. Like, as a former smoker, I used to stand outside often in the middle of a tattoo. I'd be like, gonna take a break. We got the outline done, take a break. Oh, got the black shading done, we're gonna take a break. Like, I had no problems taking breaks back then. To go stand in the sun and smoke. Have you seen those reels or like the TikToks where they're like, I need to take a smoke break, but I don't smoke, and they're like blowing bubbles or whatever? Like, go fucking blow some bubbles outside. Something else to think about during this afternoon slump, as they call it, is what you're eating. So you should be avoiding foods that are high in sugar and refined carbs and like big heavy lunches, which is hilarious, because I feel like that's exactly what I go for when I start to feel tired. So I'm like feeling shitty, feeling tired, like I need to pick me up. I'm going to eat some sugar and some like shitty carbs, or like get some fucking pupusas or tacos. Like that's like the go-to in the afternoon. And what we should be doing is eating foods that are like high protein, high fat, high fiber, and things that are going to fuel our brains and, give us actual energy and not make us sleepy. Like the sugars and the carbs and the heavy foods, those make you tired. Like when you think about like when you eat Thanksgiving dinner, you get fucking sleepy afterwards. Like, it's the same thing when you eat like the wrong shit in the middle of the day. Like, you're just gonna feel crappy and worse. It's not helping the situation whatsoever. So we have to start thinking about it like fueling our brain and stabilizing our energy level, and not just like filling our stomachs. It has to be more strategic than that. This episode is sponsored by ManaScheduler scheduling software, specifically with artists and studios in mind. ManaScheduler is built by artists so they understand exactly what we need when it comes to scheduling. It offers tools like multi-artist scheduling, analytics, client reminders, customized waivers, and entire studio-level organization. It's designed to grow with you, whether you're a solo artist or running a full studio. If you want to spend less time managing schedules and more time focusing on your craft, ManaScheduler is a great option. You can learn more by checking out the link in our show notes. So when I'm thinking about my energy throughout the day, I'm also thinking about what is actually draining my energy too. Like, besides just the natural, circadian rhythm, there's definitely things happening throughout the day that are just draining the fucking life out of me. And I need to figure out what they are, and if I can fix them or like curb them or somehow reduce their effect on me. Like, I need to make some changes with that. And, one of the things is just mental fatigue. And I try to think back before I owned a shop, like how my day felt with I honestly can't remember. I feel like it's been too long. I'm too far removed, but I can't imagine that this is just a shop owner problem. But things like multitasking and problem solving and, messaging and like the constant interactions with clients and things like that, it's just burning up your energy, and it's leaving you completely depleted at the end of the day. And it's something that I think can be managed in a way that's going to help conserve energy. So, maybe these tasks can be saved for a certain time of day that it's going to make more sense and not drain you, or maybe you can minimize it in some way so that it's not taking as much out of you. Or maybe it's stuff that you just offload to somebody else, like hire an assistant, have them do it so you don't have to fuck with it, so it doesn't just completely fucking deplete you. Another thing that's adding to our energy throughout the day is our fucking sleep schedule. So tattoo artists, I feel like, notoriously have terrible sleep schedules, and I'm not one of them anymore. I am recovered. I'm doing much better. I have a bedtime and I have a wake up time, and I try my best to stick to it. I go to bed at 10 and I wake up at 5 because I like to go to the gym before I go to work. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I go to bed at 10. So that's a non-negotiable for me. So I'm getting the same amount of sleep every night, and I'm making it like, this is my bedtime. I'm not staying up late. I don't really go to bed early, hardly ever. I heard something recently where they were talking about if you don't get enough sleep and you're tired and you want to sleep in, that you should not sleep in more than an hour past your normal wake up time, because it will completely fuck up your sleep schedule. And you shouldn't stay up past, an hour past your bedtime. You shouldn't go to sleep more than an hour early. Like, you should try to keep it as similar as possible and as regular as possible, because just those tiny shifts will really change things and really fuck things up for you. It's really going to contribute to chronic fatigue and just reduced energy throughout the day. Another thing that I know, this is a huge one for me, that's really, really draining me throughout the day, is decision fatigue. That is a huge one for me. They say the average person makes 30,000 decisions per day. And I mean, that it doesn't sound like such a large number that I think it's wrong, but it is crazy to think about, because you make tiny, micro decisions all day long. But, as a shop owner, as a tattoo artist, as a mom, as a wife, I have to decide so many things, and so many people asking me questions throughout the day. Like, everybody needs something from me. Everybody needs my opinion. Everybody needs my help. They don't know what to do. How should they do this? Like, it is endless, and it drains the fuck out of me, to the point where, like, at the end of the day, do not ask me what I want to watch on TV. I will fucking snap. Like, just decide for me, and don't ask me where I want to go for dinner. You know what I like. Like, just decide for me, because I have nothing left to give at this point. It just absolutely fucking zaps me. You know, every single decision that you make throughout the day is draining you just a little bit. And after making thousands of decisions all day, even the smallest choices feel absolutely exhausting. And this leads to just making really poor decisions, which I'm definitely guilty of. Impulsive decisions where I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I don't even care. Do whatever. Like, I can't even talk myself out of things as much at the end of the day. You know, I'm going to choose the easier thing versus whatever the right thing is, just because I'm too tired to fuck with it. And, you know, avoiding decisions altogether. Like I was saying, like, don't fucking ask me what we're watching on TV. Like, I don't care. You know, and then on top of that, like, defaulting to just your normal habits over whatever strategy or plan that you originally had. Things like going to the gym after work. Like, if you already have decision fatigue, like, you're going to just decide not to. You're going to avoid going to the gym, and you're just going to go straight fucking home. Because at this point of the day, like, your willpower and your self-control are also completely fucking depleted. And it makes it harder to resist temptations. It makes it harder to sustain any kind of discipline that you may have acquired, like whatever behaviors you may already have in place. Like, if you're wiped out and you're completely exhausted by the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you said you were going to do. It doesn't matter what your routine and your plan was. Like, you're probably not going to do it. One of the worst parts about this is being an artist and having to be creative. And a lot of us will go home after a long day, and then we draw for the next day. And we're supposed to be creative at this point. We're supposed to be able to create things and come up with a design and an idea and be artistic. And, you know, after all the decisions you've made all day and all of your energy ebbs and flows, and like not taking breaks and not eating the right thing and not getting enough sleep, and maybe you had caffeine, like whatever it was that happened throughout the day. And now you have to do this really difficult task at the end of the day that is supposed to be fun for you. And now it's work. And now you have to try really hard. It's not coming easily to you because you just don't have any fucking energy left in the tank. And when it gets to this point, your brain is opting for the easier thing and the easier route and the immediate rewards versus the things that's going to take more work and the thing that's going to require a lot of effort. And even if that result is less creative than the thing that you put a lot of effort into, you're going to start choosing those shortcuts. And this explains a lot why we have these like crazy breakthroughs when we rest, and we have these like amazing ideas, and we're super creative, and we have like, this awesome idea for a tattoo after we've had a vacation or something, and not when we're trying our hardest with intense focus to make something happen. Do you ever notice, like, when you really try really fucking hard, like you just can't get it, you can't figure it out because it's like you're trying too hard. Like it has to just come to you. If you stop trying so hard and you allow yourself the rest that you need to recharge your brain, to be creative, it'll come to you the way that it's supposed to. So what we're supposed to do instead is use our time strategically and plan our day around our energy levels instead of forcing things when they're not working, right? So for me, a lot of times I draw in the morning, and I know that people are going to push back on this, and so many people are going to disagree with this, and like, I'm more creative at night. Like, okay, I'll say this. Number one, you are entitled to your wrong opinion. And number two, you don't know until you try. So do me a favor. If you're one of these naysayers that like you can't draw in the morning and that you draw better at night, just do me a favor one time. Start your drawing at night, finish it in the morning, and let me know how it went. Because every single time I've done this where I, stayed up super late, like I have to draw this for tomorrow and I'm like cramming to get this done. And I work super hard on it. It's like not happening. I'm fighting with the design. I'm fighting against myself. I'm too picky, like, and nothing's working. I gave up doing that. I would stay up till like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get no sleep, have to go to work, tattoo all day on no sleep with a design that I'm not super confident in because it fought me all night. I stopped doing that. So now 10 o'clock comes, I'm done. If my drawing's not done, oh well, I put it down, come back to it in the morning. There has not been one time where I've done this where it did not work out. Every single time I get up in the morning, once I'm awake, I start drawing. It comes to me so easy. Something that I would have fought with for hours and hours and hours at the end of the night when I'm fucking exhausted. I have no energy left. I have decision fatigue, like all of those things. I have nothing left to give. I would have been hours on that design and I get it done in an hour in the morning. Like just whip it out like nothing, it's like no effort. It just came to me so easily because you just woke up from a dream, like from dream state where you are actively creative in your mind, in your sleep, you're creating a dream world. So you wake up already in this creative state, you're rested, you're refreshed, like you are back at a full tank first thing in the morning. So I would love to hear people's feedback like that tried this because it's really something that's changed everything for me because I feel like I wasted so much time drawing, but not really drawing, like just drawing in fucking circles because nothing was really happening for me. And when I could have just gone to sleep, done it in the morning, knocked it out, and it went well, And then it's also fresh in your mind when you do the tattoo. So like you just drew it. So you already, what you were thinking when you were drawing it, and then you go right into tattooing it. For me, it works. It might not work for you. Anyway, my point is stop trying so hard, stop trying to force things in a time of day that's not working for it. So if that's not working for you at the end of the day, why are we still fighting it? Let's find a better way to do it. The idea is to strategically plan your day around your energy level of the day. So they say that the early mornings, that's your peak energy window. So the goal isn't necessarily to do the most things in the morning. It's to do the most important things and the most difficult things in the morning when your brain is at its best. So things like strategy and planning and writing, designing, mapping out projects and big creative decisions, anything that feels really mentally heavy, those are the things that you want to try and do in the morning. And then in the afternoon are things like, cleaning up and sending emails, bullshit message emails, nothing super important, but, scheduling things and filing things and really low stakes tasks. Those are the things that you want to save for the afternoon when your energy is not at its best necessarily. You don't want to be making huge, complex decisions, and you don't want to be having big emotional difficult conversations. That is not the time for it. If you can plan your day by matching the task to the energy of that time of day, you're going to stop feeling so fucking broken and fucked up inside. Burnout always felt to me like not being able to get enough done. I was never doing enough, but at the same time doing too much, having too much to do. Because like I said, there's always you get to the end of your to-do list and there's always more to do. And I think that it's more than just managing your time and managing what time of day you do certain things. I think a lot of this will help with all of that. I think a lot of that will help with my mood. Just being able to do things in a time of day that they're not further stressing me and draining me. I think a lot of burnout comes from not doing enough of the things that you love doing. And I think it comes from doing too many things that you hate doing, and just learning how to manage that is difficult, because how much of it is like I have to do this thing and I have to push through this thing to get what I want. But if you're just pushing through and it feels really shitty and you don't love this thing and you actually hate all of this, it doesn't matter what the result is. Like, it doesn't matter what my big impossible goal is. If the path to get to it fucking sucks. Like, if it sucks day in, day out, and I hate everything about it, I know how this works. When I get to that finish line, when I get to that big goal, I'm going to celebrate for a minute, and then it's going to be like, what's next? Now what? There's always going to be another thing. It's not going to last. That finish line, goal achieving feeling doesn't last. Like I said, there's always going to be that second mountain when you get to the top. And if you're not having a good time getting there, what is the fucking point? So, this is another part of this that I've really been considering, because, it's not worth it. If, even if the goal is big and important, if the things that I'm doing and the path that I'm taking to get there isn't fun and I don't love it and I'm not having a good time, it's not worth it to me, because that's my day. That's my everyday. I have to enjoy what I'm doing to get there also. So I really have to take into consideration, what things am I doing that I hate that I don't need to be doing? Like, I need to just fucking cut them out, or give them to somebody else, like hire an assistant and have them do it, because it's draining the fuck out of me. It's causing me I'm starting to resent my job some days, because I'm like, why does it make me feel this way? I don't want to do all this stuff. I used to have fun. I used to love this, this part of my job, and now I hate it. And what am I doing? So I'm really taking a step back and evaluating things. Like, does this even fucking matter? Why am I doing this? And if it doesn't matter, or someone else can do it, I'm not going to fucking do it anymore. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to just stop doing it. Because it's more important to me to conserve my energy so that I can be my best every part of my life, not just at work, not just doing tattoos. I want to be my best at, with my health, with my family, with my career, all of the things. And it's going to take me really intentionally conserving my energy throughout the day, deciding what it is that gives me energy, and, what kind of people in my life give me energy. Because that's the other thing, is that if there's people that are draining the fuck out of you, and just being around them is awful and exhausting, don't don't do it. Just get away from them. Don't fucking spend your time with them. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. And if they're in your family, I'm so sorry. That sucks. But you gotta figure a way out, or at least figure out how to minimize that, because that's a miserable existence. But if you're not managing your energy levels on the day to day, you're not going to be able to come to work tomorrow at 100%. If you're not getting enough sleep, and you're not eating right, and you're not taking a break when you need to rest, you're going to come back tomorrow and you're only going to be able to give 50%. And then, maybe less the next day. And the same thing, with your family when you get home. If you're using up all of your energy throughout the day, they're getting 0% at the end of the day. And like I said, that's all they get from me is the evenings. And I don't want that for them. And I want to be able to be at 100% for them. So I'm really trying to take note of how things are making me feel throughout the day, how my energy feels, am I taking care of that? Am I resetting? Am I recharging? Am I making the necessary changes to fix these things? And, just, I want to do more things that I love doing, and I want to do more things that I enjoy and less of the things that I don't. And I mean, I think that's the fucking American dream, right? But, if we're not actively pursuing that, and we're not actively, like, intentionally striving for that, what are we doing here? Like, why do we have this job? Why not just work a regular fucking job? Like, let's focus on getting that energy back and taking the rest that we need, before we need it, because that's the point. You don't wait until you're completely fucking exhausted and then, oh, I have to rest. Oh, I should take a break. No, you already did the fucking damage. And, I say this literally to myself, because I just had another episode where I fucking passed out because I did too fucking much. And, the last time this happened, it's only been 4 months since the last time this happened. And before that, it was like 2 years, and now they're getting closer together. And I'm like, okay, well, what's happening here? What am I missing? What I'm missing is I didn't change anything. I said I was going to, and I didn't change anything. So, I don't want to do this again. I'm good. I heard the message, got the message from the universe that, it keeps trying to tell me. And it's that rest before you feel like you need it, and do more things that you love and the things that you're meant to be doing. So, heard, gonna, and that's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully you get something from that.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project, and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.